Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 2015 New York Giants rebuild here on Madden 24 on the PC. That is right, we return, and this is possibly going to be the final episode of this series. I don't know for sure. We are caught up pretty much with modern day. I'm pretty sure that we are in the 2023-24 season, so that when we do the draft, it would be the 2024 draft, because I think we got the rookies like Jordan Addison, who's a rookie this year, so I'm pretty sure we're caught up. I'm not 100% sure. We'll check when we get into the actual game or actual episode, but I'm pretty sure we're all caught up to modern day, so I'm probably going to stop it either after this episode or after next episode. Maybe we go this episode, and then we do the offseason. We draft the rookies for this year, like Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams, all those guys. And then next episode would be the final episode, because then we'd be into auto-generated draft. I think that's probably how we're going to do it. So there's the penultimate episode, basically, is what this is. Next episode will be the series finale of this 2015 series, but I may do another one in the near future with another 2015 team and then rebuild them just like I've done with the Giants. So, yeah, stick around for that. But if you guys are excited for this one, we've absolutely been dominating this series. I think we are 3 straight Super Bowl champions in the past 3 seasons. So, I mean, we've pretty much done all we can with this team. Now it's just time to catch up to modern day. So, if you guys go to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started with this episode. This is what the team looks like headed into the season. We are obviously pretty much unbeatable at this point. We've got obviously a great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that we drafted, Nick Chubb, who we drafted, Justin Jefferson, Odell Beckham Jr. We've drafted some very, very, very good players to this team. We've got Tyreek Hill. We just got Jordan Addison this past episode. Cooper Kupp is still here. Hunter Renfrow is here. So we've got some really, really good weapons for Mahomes to throw to, along with having Nick Chubb as a running back. The offensive line's been pretty steady the entire series. We've had Richburg the entire time. We've had Eric Flowers the entire time. And we've gotten Justin Pugh through the draft, but we pretty much had him the entire time as well. So we've had ourselves a consistent offensive line and a very good offensive line this entire series. And they should be good enough to continue dominating for the next 2 episodes, the final 2 episodes. We've got Mark Andrews and George Kittle at tight end, who are very serviceable. And then on defense is amazing. I mean, we've got Joey Bosa and Jalen Ramsey, who were the first 2 draft picks of the entire series. Jalen Ramsey is a true 99 in every single category that you can be, so that's why he has 2 skill points, because he simply cannot use those. But then we've got good backups behind him in Ronald Darby, J.C. Jackson, Shaquille Griffin, Deron Bland. We've got great backups behind Jalen Ramsey. Defensive line is looking really, really good. Obviously, we got Bosa, we got Jordan Davis, we've got Jadeveon Clowney, Brian Burns is behind him, Ioannidis is there. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty spicy on the defensive line. Hufanga and Landon Collins are on the safety spots, and then our linebackers might be the best in the league. They probably are. In terms of full all-around core linebackers, we've got Hassan Reddick, we've got Nick Bolton, and we've got TJ Watt. It doesn't really match up more than that. You can't match up with these 3 guys. These are pretty darn good linebackers. So that is what our team looks like headed into the second to last episode. We will do the draft class, and I did download a 2024 draft class. We will see how good it is, and it has real players, but it has very interesting. It has portraits for legends. Okay, that's pretty interesting. It's kind of funny that it has portraits for legendary players' portraits. For some people, like the main guys, like Caleb Williams, like Drake May, J.J. McCarthy as Marvin Harrison Sr. Wouldn't they give Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Sr.? That feels like that should be. He's got, who is that? Oh, I know that face. Who is that? I can't put my finger on it right now. That's Kurt Warner. We're gonna use this, because it has the real players, and this is the only way I can get the real players because I'm playing offline, so I can't like download a draft class off of community share because I can't use that with offline. So we're going to use this because it's the real player names. We're just going to have to ignore the actual pictures. But we know who's in this draft class. It's the guys in this upcoming draft class. So I don't really have to go too in-depth like I usually do because this one is coming up this offseason. So we don't need a quarterback. Running back, Braylon Allen, maybe Blake Corum. Anybody down the board? I'll put a Will Shipley on the board just in case. Ship. And then we've got wide receivers. Obviously, I'm going to put Marvin on the board. Keon, Roma Dunze, Malik Neighbors I'll put on there. Emeka Ebuga, obviously. Xavier Worthy's really, really good. We could come away with a receiver. I could certainly see that. There's some very good ones down the board as well, too. There are some very, very good ones. Tight end, I'll put Brock Bowers on there and Jatavion Sanders. I think Jatavion Sanders was actually like the first Texas tight end to reach 1,000 yards in forever, so he's obviously pretty decent. Luke Lachey is a good tight end as well. Brevin Spanford's pretty good. Cade Stover's solid. There's some good tight ends. Olu Fashanu, Joe Alt are good left tackles. Zion Nelson even could be something. I know he's potentially undrafted, but Zion Nelson's pretty solid. Left guards, Cooper Beebe down the board, Zach Zinter down the board. I know a lot of these guys, they're fresh in my mind, not only because this is the current draft class, but because we've been doing these NCAA rebuilds, so a lot of these names are fresh in my mind for guys that I like. So that's a little bit of a help. Cedric Van Pran, or Pran, I guess it could be. The center class is not very deep, I will say that. Right guard, Donovan Jackson because he's a Buckeye, but that's probably going to be it. I mean, there could be some guys here, but maybe not. It's not very deep as well. Right tackle, J.C. Latham. Who else do we want to put on here? Not really feeling anybody else. We're probably not going to be in the market for a tackle anyway. Maybe. I'll put Jared Verse on there. Let's see. Who else do we want to put on here for a defensive line? I'm not seeing anybody else that I really am interested in. Braylon Trice, JTT, Brandon Dorless, Jack Sawyer, obviously. Maybe could be in play for one of these guys, absolutely. Defensive tackles, Mason Smith, Jerzon Newton. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Okay. We got some interesting players on the defensive line. Outside linebackers, we're not really in the market for an outside linebacker, so I'm probably not going to put anybody on here. Middle linebacker, I'll put Jeremiah Trotter, I'll put Dumas Johnson, Jalen Ford, Cedric Gray. I'll put those guys on here, but probably won't come away with that. Even Tommy Eichenberg as well. Right outside linebacker, obviously I want to put Chop Robinson. Dallas Turner's great. Who else is on here? I'll put Steel Chambers, one of my favorite Buckeyes. Actually, my current favorite Buckeye of all time is, not of all time, of recent iteration of the team is Steel Chambers. So I have to put him on here. Let's see. Corners, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Kalen King, Cooper DeJean obviously would be huge. Nate Wiggins will put on there. Josh Newton. Denzel Burke is amazing. Kalen Carson even. There's probably some other ones down the board, but I don't know too much about them at this point. It's too early in the cycle for me. Ooh, Mike Sanderson I like. Even though he plays for the Cheaters. I do like him. Think he's a good player, but I don't know really too much about some of the lower end guys or the guys that are projected to go a little bit later here. We'll put Malachi Moore. We'll put Tyler Nubin, Javon Bullard. That'll probably be good for safeties. And then strong safeties. Probably not going to be in them. We don't really need a strong safety, so I might not even really focus too heavily on that. And then the kickers and then the punters. All right, so that is our board. Just, again, ignore the legendary game faces or legendary portraits. We'll just have to strictly go by the player names. But that is going to be my board. Obviously, I want to be in play for Marvin Harrison, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I think we only have our own first-round pick, right? What is our draft pick capital? We don't have any for picks. We have a third, a fourth, 2 5s, a 6, and a 7. So I could trade my 2026 to get a first rounder because we're not going to be going that deep into the series, so we won't need those draft picks, so they're basically useless. So we might as well get some value out of them. That could be a possibility, but we'll have to see. We'll play it by ear, see how the team does this season. Hopefully we're in the Super Bowl for the 4th straight year, but we'll find out. I'm going to simulate to the Week 8 mark, and I'll catch back up with you guys when I'm there. We sit at 4-2 at the mid-season mark. That's pretty good. I like it. Obviously, it's not as good as I would like it to be, but it's still a very solid, very respectable record through 7 games, or through 8 games, I guess. Not through 8 games, through 6 games, excuse me. Eagles are 5-1, so they're having a really, really good year. This will probably be the last time we need to negotiate new contracts because of the fact that we aren't going to go any further than next episode. We won't go into the offseason, so we won't lose any of those players. So we will probably try to restructure some of the big names so that we can bring those guys back. But that'll probably be the final time we need to do that. First off, let's do the national focus. I don't really know what the focus is going to be. It says that it's corner and receiver. I'm probably going to do receiver because I want to know about these top guys, because I probably want to make a trade up to get one of them. I know that it's probably not going to matter too much since we're only going to go one more episode, which would be their rookie season, so they're not going to make that much of an impact, especially with the team that we have, but I'd like to get one of them just because I like them. So let's go and see if we can restructure some contracts to get some of those guys back on the team. So let's restructure Mahomes. That should free up a ton of money with Patrick Mahomes' contract. All right. And then we will restructure, hopefully, Jalen Ramsey. That should give us a lot of money as well. Perfect. Let's restructure Nick Chubb. We just re-signed Nick Chubb, so we should be able to restructure him. That'd be such an awkward phone call if you just the offseason prior, you signed a new deal with one of your star players, and then the very next regular season, that same next regular season, you call them up and say, yeah, we're going to restructure your deal and push your money back a little bit. That'd be a pretty awkward conversation. But that's a lot of money we just restructured, a lot of contracts. Let's see where we sit right now. We now sit with $58 million. Perfect. That's a lot of money we freed up. I'm actually going to free up a little bit more, at least attempt to free up a little bit more, so that we don't have to worry about not having enough money right away. So let's go talk to... Probably can't do Tyreek. I'll try, but... No, we can't do Tyreek. I didn't think so. We can probably do Hassan Reddick. Let's restructure him. Beautiful. And we will also restructure Mark Andrews. Yep. Restructure that. And I'll do one more because I saw there was one that we signed for like 7 years or something. So, Cooper Kupp. Okay, we'll restructure Cooper Kupp. I don't know how much it's going to do, but every little bit helps. So there we go. Restructure all those deals. And now we can go and re-sign all those players. So we don't have to worry about it. We have $94 million. That should be plenty to get these guys back, even though I know Eric Flowers wants a lot of money. We should be able to persuade him to return to the squad, and he is going to. $64 million. We are going to re-sign Odell Beckham Jr. I know he's 30, and this is pretty much Justin Jefferson's team at this point, but it's always going to be Odell's team. He was here when we started the rebuild. He's going to be here when we end the rebuild. Might as well keep him around. I know it's a ton of money, but got to do what you got to do. Brian Burns hasn't really gotten his chance to break out because we had Clowney, but we got to keep him because I like Brian Burns. Clowney will come back as well. He's going to come back. We have $10 million, and we need to bring back probably Richburg as well as Elton Jenkins. We should be able to get Elton Jenkins back for not too much money. Hopefully he accepts this. I know he doesn't want to be here, but this is as high as I can go. And he says good. So I didn't have any more money after that. James Robinson, Geno Stone, Willie Gay, those guys probably don't come back. And Tommy Townsend probably doesn't. I guess I could restructure some more deals to make sure that they come back, because those guys are very good depth pieces. Maybe not the James Robinson, because we have good depth at running back, or we have solid running backs. But maybe we could get somebody else. So let's talk to TJ Watt. We can restructure. There we go. And then we can also restructure... Who else? Not Darby. We can get Minshew. Why did I sign Gardner Minshew to a big deal? I don't know. But we might as well restructure it. And then we can get Montgomery as well. Restructure that. Okay, perfect. So we added a few more guys on restructured deals. Remember, free money, kids. Free money. We have 26 million. That should be enough to get... We can get Tommy Townsend back. I'm just going to offer him a 7-year deal because that is how I'm feeling. Perfect. Tommy Townsend's back. I would like to get Willie Gay back. We might have to overpay slightly, but he should accept this. He doesn't really have any other offers. So if we offer him that, he says that's good. He's coming back. Geno Stone I will get back as well. He doesn't want to play in New Jersey, but I don't care. You're going to play in New Jersey. At least for one more season. And he's back as well. So we have $4 million. We could probably get Devondre, and that's it. Yeah, we can only afford Devondre Campbell. We're not going to be able to afford James Robinson, but that's okay because we just restructured David Montgomery's deal. We don't really need James Robinson, so we got everybody back. That's the magic of free money, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go to week 11 so that we can use our focus scouting and figure out who we are going to try to get in this draft. I might try to trade with Washington because Washington's not having the greatest of seasons. They have yet to win a game. So they are not having a great year. They did win a game, okay. They've won their first game. The Lions are also very bad. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Focus players. All right. Who do we want to use this on? We could draft a running back now that we're going to let, excuse me, James Robinson go. We could do that for sure. Maybe we get Blake Corum in the second round if we trade up. We don't know. We don't have a second round pick, but we could trade up. I'm probably going to use... What do we really need? That's the big question. I don't really know what we need. We could use a guard, I guess. So Cooper Beebe, that might be something that we could think about. I'll even put J.C. Latham on that list. And then I will put my final one on probably JT Tuimoloau. But maybe Chop Robinson would be better. I don't know. Although there are some good corners in this class that I like. Maybe Cooper DeJean. We'll do Cooper DeJean since we already have him at 55%. So those will be the three guys that we use in week 11. And we'll keep an eye out for teams that are bad. Lions are bad. Washington is bad. We'll keep an eye out for those bad teams. We'll see how they perform. And then we might swoop in and try to get a trade done before the offseason. That might be a little bit smarter. Especially when the cap space isn't super negative. So we are taking a bunch of wins right now. Everybody's playing well. You love to see it. Love, love, love to see it. If we take a look at the standings, Broncos are 11-1. Cardinals are 10-2. So the Lions and Panthers both have one win still. So we'll keep an eye on the Lions and the Panthers. Might need to make a trade with either one of them. Taking on Tampa Bay. We will take them down. Then we got Dallas. We actually play Washington at the end of the season. Very interesting. We don't play them the final week, but we play them the week before. This is a big game against the Eagles. And it's a big win as well. We are 13-2 going up against the 2-win Washington team. We'll keep an eye on the Lions and Panthers. Have they won a game? Broncos are 14-1. They've clinched the best record in the AFC. We are battling with the Cardinals for best record in the NFC. But I didn't check who was leading the thing. So, okay. So Lions have actually won 2 more games since we checked. Panthers have won 3 more games. So it's the Patriots and then Washington who have the worst records in the league. So it's a good thing we didn't make a trade there because we would have been screwed. We would have been screwed there. We'll take on Washington. And we will beat them 40-14. That's a big old W. And right before we simulate Week 18 against the Bears, we will quickly check. We've clinched the best record. Cardinals lost. We've clinched the best record in the the NFC. We will have the 1 seed and a bye. So the Patriots, I was hoping one of these teams would have separated. I know we just beat Washington, so I was hoping the Patriots would have gotten a win so that we would know for sure. I'm going to trade with the Patriots. I wonder if that can be a thing. If we could trade with the Patriots. I want to go to the standings. It's going to be pretty tough, but I think we should be able to do it. If I just give them every draft pick in the future, it might work. So the Bears actually have 2 first-round picks. They have pick 4 as well. Maybe we could trade with the Bears. Patriots currently have the first pick in the draft. They want Nick Bolton or Tyreek Hill. I mean, to be fair, Tyreek Hill is 29, but we don't have the cap room to be able to make that trade, so it has to be it has to be draft picks. And unfortunately, I only have my 2026, but I will give you everything I own. And it's not close enough. All right. I will give you everything that I own for the first overall pick. It's close, but no cigarette. Let's go talk to the Bears about pick number 4. That might be slightly more manageable. It's not. Can we get into the top 10 is a question. Pick number 8 with Buffalo. No, we can't get in the top 10. Can we get into the top 12 or 13? Chiefs have pick 13. Very close. Very, very close. I will give you a 5th rounder as well. Trade offer accepted. So my 1st through 5th in 2026 gets us the 13th overall pick. I like it. I like it a lot. Because that we could flip into a higher pick. But now we don't have a lot of assets to work with. So I would have to give them basically everything here. And maybe the Bengals will be willing to trade pick 9. Very close. Very, very close. Trade decline. Oh, I thought that was going to go through for sure. How about this? Trade offer accepted. So now we have pick number 9 in the NFL draft. That's at least a top 10 pick. Unfortunately, we don't have enough draft picks to be able to make any more trades, or I would. I'd continue to go a little bit higher. But we currently now have only a 1st, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th in the draft. So I think we're going to have to stick at number 9 unless I want to trade all of these picks as well. We'll have to see what happens at pick number 9. We'll see. We'll take a little bit of a gander. See what we got working with us. Let's beat the Bears first, though. We've already got the 1 seed, so it's not like if we lose, it's a big deal. But we don't lose. We win. We move on to the NFC divisional rounds. Get the bye. We take on the Rams, who are 11-6. All right. Big dubs. Big dubs. We should easily cakewalk them. But let's take a look at stats first. How did the boys perform? Patrick Mahomes, 4,800 yards, 42 touchdowns, just 3 picks with a 74% completion percentage. I really hope that's MVP numbers, but you never know what happened around the league. But these are fantastic numbers regardless. Oh, man, those are great numbers. Nick Chubb killed it on the ground. 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry. Nick Chubb had a fantastic year. Odell Beckham Jr., he said, hold on, Justin. Hold on. This is not your team just yet. 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns. If that's not Offensive Player of the Year, then I'm going to throw a fit. And Justin Jefferson didn't have a slouch of a year anyway. He had 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. Tyreek had a good year. All right year. Not many touchdowns. Mark Andrews got a lot of touchdowns. Defensively, Nick Bolton led the league in led the team in tackles. Maybe the league. I don't know. 134 tackles. Reddick had 101. Landon Collins 78. Hufanga 78. 77 for Ramsey. Tackle for loss leader was Bosa with 17. Clowney had 14. Sack leader was Bosa with 13.5. Clowney 6.5. Bolton 3.5. And then oh my God, Nick Bolton might win Defensive Player. We might have Offense and Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, 3 picks, 3.5 sacks, and 134 tackles. It's got to be at least in the conversation. I say that every year. It's got to be at least. 2 picks for Ramsey and Darby. A couple guys had 1. Those are your stats for the season. Very strong numbers. Very, very strong numbers. The playoff bracket is as follows. Broncos, Titans, Jags, and Ravens in the AFC side. Us versus the Rams, and then the Cardinals and the Vikings are the other side of the NFC bracket. We should cakewalk the St. Louis Rams. It shouldn't be much of a problem. Rams and Giants, like I said, this shouldn't be much of an issue. I know Madden likes to screw me, but yeah, 35-17, not really much of an issue. And now we take on the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota. We should pretty much walk through them as well. I mean, we're clearly the best team left in the playoffs, except for maybe the Broncos, who we were battling the entire season for best record in the entire league. They take on the Ravens, so the Jaguars got upset by Baltimore. Very interesting. And the Broncos handled the Titans with ease. Vikings got past the Cardinals just barely. This is going to be pretty interesting, but we should pretty much easily get through these guys. Vikings and Giants. Come on, Giants. If we lose this one, I'm gonna be super upset. 28-21, big victory, and I just saw right up there the Broncos got upset by the Ravens. Oh my God, the number 1 seed fell. The number 1 seed fell to a 10-7 football team. 41-35, it was a battle in the AFC Championship in Denver and Mile High, and the Ravens went into there and they beat them. So we will take on Baltimore. It's a 1 versus 4. This is going to be tricky. It's always tricky, but I mean, we're 3-time defending champions. The dynasty has been built. We just got to continue to prove that we're the greatest of all time and cement our legacy. 4 in a row, unheard of. It'd be amazing if we did 4 in a row, and I really want to, so let's go and do it. Before we get started, let's take a look at who we're playing, the Baltimore Ravens, who they have on their team. Carson Wentz is their quarterback, very interesting. Najee Harris is the running back. Juicy Juice is their fullback. Corey Davis is a 99 overall. Then you got Dede Westbrook, KJ Hamler, Rashee Rice, Deontay Johnson. It's an interesting receiving core, but obviously it's gotten enough done to get them to this point, so it's working for him. Max Williams is a 94 overall tight end. Offensive line is Anthony Costanzo, Connor McGovern, Mike Pouncey, who's a veteran very old at this point, Brandon Brooks, and then Rick Wagner. It's a very solid offensive line for the Ravens. Yannick Ngakoue on the defensive line with Boogie Basham and Vita Vea. Wow, this Ravens team is sneaky good. Courtney Upshaw, left outside linebacker with CJ Mosley in the middle. Then you've got Julian Stanford on the right. And corners, Marco Wilson, James Bradbury, Darnay Holmes, Darrell Luter Jr., and Gregory Jr. You got Luter Jr. and Jr. It's not the greatest secondary for the Ravens. Justin Reed at free safety, Obi Melifonwu at strong safety. So it's not great corners, but it's decent safeties for the Ravens. And unlike in my Brown series, where I accidentally skipped the Super Bowl last episode, I didn't do that in this one, so we actually get to possibly jump in and affect this game. We are down 7-0, though, down 14-0. Our dynasty, well, our 4 in a row is very much in jeopardy here. We finally get on the board, 17-7. It's 20-7 into the second half. 22-7, must have been a safety. It's 29-7, 32-7. We put another touchdown on the board, but we are into the third quarter, and we are getting absolutely shelled by this Ravens team. We need a big stop here and go on a run. And there we do. It's 35-28. We have pulled back in this game, but we need to stop again, and we can't do it. It is ball game for the Giants. 42-28. We will probably lose this game. We have no timeouts, so we won't go 4 in a row. This Ravens team is not a 4 seed. I don't know why they were a 4 seed. I can see why they went in. Oh my God, Odell Beckham Jr. I can see why they went into Denver and beat the number 1 seed, because they are very well put together. They are a good team. This is going to be Justin Jefferson. One-on-one, couldn't bring it in. I went back-to-back on the verticals. Maybe not the smartest idea. This time we'll go play-action cross. Just try to get everybody downfield. We got such great weapons. Might as well try it. And play-action's not going to work. Oh, I got away somehow. Mahomes throws it down. It's going to be knocked incomplete. I don't know how I got away from that pressure. That was crazy. 46 seconds. There's really no chance we can win this game, but we might as well keep trying. I'm going to send Tyreek Hill deep because he's Tyreek Hill. Maybe he gets open, but it won't matter anyway. Big sack taken. Yannick Ngakoue with the sack. And that is a huge 4th down now. I'm going to try to hit Mark Andrews. Good play. Oh, my God. Great play. Defensively by Jordan Brooks there. And that is going to be the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. We will lose the Super Bowl, so we will not go 4 in a row. But, hey, we've already got 3. It's not that big of a deal. This Ravens team was really good. I know that we are obviously really good, but this Ravens team was something special. They beat whoever they played in the wild card. They beat the #1 seed. They beat somebody else. I forget who else they had on the team or had in the bracket. But then they go and they play us. They beat the 2 best teams in football. They beat the Broncos, and then they beat us. So you got to say that 10-win Ravens team, something special. Good team. Good team. If I hadn't won a Super Bowl, like if I was in the situation with the Browns where I haven't won one yet, I'd be a little bit more heated, obviously. But since we've already got 3, I'm not super put off by that. Carson Wentz wins MVP of the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow MVP of the league. Odell does win Offensive Player of the Year. I would have been so upset if he didn't win it. Unfortunately, Myles Jack took home Defensive Player of the Year, and then Sam Laporta for the Broncos and Will Anderson Jr. for the Browns are your Rookies of the Year. So that is what the full season looks like. We will move into the off season. We've already got all our re-signs done. We don't need to re-sign James Robinson, and since we don't have any money, we can pretty much zoom right past free agency straight to the draft, where we have a top 10 pick, thanks to the Cincinnati Bengals and thanks to the Kansas City Chiefs. So we will not have to worry about this because it's only James Robinson. He can go to a new team. He probably wants to because he wants to play. So we will move to free agency. We'll take a peek. We'll jump into free agency just to see who's there, and then we will move quickly to the draft. So Tyron Smith, Gabe Jackson, Logan Wilson is an X factor. I'd certainly be in on him if I had money. Justin Houston, Von Miller. There's some decent players. A lot of older guys, as you would expect. But there's some good offensive linemen. If we were in a better situation cap-wise, I might be in play for some of those offensive linemen. Maybe to go for like one more big run. We sign a tackle and a guard, and we just go all in for one final season. But we're not in that situation, so we can't do that. But what we can do is get swiftly to the NFL draft and figure out our game plan. Since we're going to be picking in the top 10, we need to adjust our focus to one of those top 10 players. It's probably not going to be Marvin Harrison, unfortunately. It would be amazing if it was going to be. But maybe we could get another receiver, but we're not really in the market for another receiver. That's the problem. So if we take a look at mock draft number 5, Harrison's going to go 2. No surprise there. They have us taking... It's this pick, right? We have pick number 9, I think. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't say that we have it, but I'm pretty sure we have... Do we have pick 7 or do we have pick 9? I'll check, but we can grab basically anybody down here, which is good. We could get Malik Neighbors. That'd be really good. We could grab J.C. Latham, who I do like. That might be a nice pickup. That might not be too bad. I will check quickly to see what pick we actually do have. So let's see. NFL rosters. What pick are we rocking with? I thought it was pick number 9. It is pick number 15. Okay. I thought that it was locked in at number 9, but I guess when we simulated, it wasn't officially locked in. So now we don't have a top 10 pick. We have a top 15 pick. Very interesting. So that changes some things. So yeah, we have pick 15 right here taking Braylon Allen. Okay. We can't trade up because we just don't have enough assets. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do. What's a position that we need the most or that a rookie could affect in one season? What is a position that a rookie could, in theory, factor into? Probably not receiver because we have 3 amazing receivers and then we have Addison and Kupp. So it's probably not going to be a receiver. Offensive line's probably the one because we could get a guard or a tackle and they could fit right in, or a center even. Tight end, they're not going to factor. Obviously, quarterback and running back, they're not going to factor in. On defense, probably not a linebacker. No safeties. Maybe a secondary D tackle, but I don't think there's one that's going to be in the first round that's good enough. No defensive lineman. There could be a corner, I guess. So it's basically corner, D tackle, and then offensive line are really the only positions that, in theory, a rookie would factor in one season. So we'll take a look at those different positions. So we'll take a look at corner first. We saw that we could be in play for Kool-Aid McKinstry, which I do like, might be who we go after because he could be the best one available. I'll put it on him. We can also be in play for a D tackle, but like I said, there's not really one that I want to take, not in the first round at least. Mason Smith's fine, but we'll probably go another route. J.C. Latham, I don't think we're going to be in play for anymore because now we have pick 15. Donovan Jackson, Cedric Van Prawn, Cooper Beebe, and then the tackles, Joe Alton and Fashanu are going to be gone. So I think it's really the corners. I think it really is those corners that we're going to be in play for. So I will mark a couple of these guys, and we will see if we can grab one of them with the 15th pick. Because theoretically, they would be the highest ones and the best opportunity to start if they're a 78 or higher. They would pretty much be third on the depth chart at that point. So let's take one final look at these guys and the mock draft. All right, those last prospects, those last corners. We got McKinstry up to 90%. Same thing with those guys. So we don't know for sure how good they are, like true talent-wise. We do know that Cooper DeJean is a round 2 to 3 true talent. But unfortunately, we couldn't get up to 100% on those other ones. So if we go to this, we're not going to be in play for Fashanu or Marvin. Not going to be in play for Latham or Neighbors or Turner. Joe Alt could be a guy that we might be able to trade up. I mean, it's only 2 spots. I bet the Falcons would consider it with pretty much ease, I would say. So we could grab one of these corners, but I think our best option is to try to trade up for Joe Alt and then move him to right tackle. That way, he's probably going to be better than Justin Pugh right away, I would think. I'll try to trade up. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I will certainly try to trade up. I think it was the Falcons that had the pick. So we will talk to Atlanta. Give them pick 15. They take pick 13. And it's trade accepted straight up. Beautiful. And that makes me think, could we trade up even higher? Let me try something here. So now we have pick 13. Who has pick, let's say, 11? It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have pick 13. Trade offer accepted. So we move up 2 more spots. We now have pick 11 in the draft. Could I get even higher? We'll keep trying. We will keep on trying. Let's go to pick number 9 by Buffalo, which is the pick that we originally thought we were going to have. If we do that, trade offer accepted. Perfect. It really helps having these staff points put in on the one tree on the player personnel side, because that's really helping me out here. So then the Bengals have pick 7, so we will try to trade up to pick 7, and that's going to be good. Okay, we are getting pretty close. I'm going to try to go top 5 here. I'll try to get top 5. This is really changing things now. Now that we have a top 10 pick, and even higher possibly. So if we try to trade pick number 5 by the not the Jets, the Lions, and we give them pick 7, trade offer accepted. Wow, can I just go all the way up to number 1? I have no idea. I'm going to keep trying it. We now have pick number 5. The Bears have pick 3. We'll give them pick 5. Oh, trade offer declined. So we could get pick number 3 if I give them a 2025 or a 5th round pick. So we do get pick number 3. We have a top 3 pick in the NFL draft now. Is there a way to get number 1? This puts us in play for literally everybody at this point. So who has the first overall pick? It's is it Washington? No, it's New England. That's right. Is this going to be possible? No. Okay, it's very, very much not possible. Who has pick number 2 then? It is Washington. Who has pick number 2? Is this going to be possible? No. Okay, I'm not going to trade my 3rd or 4th. So we end up with pick number 3, which is much better than pick number 15, which is what we had originally before I started doing that. So now, this changes some things. Maybe I should have done that before I used my pick. So now we have pick number 3. We are in play for Fashanu, which is now probably who I'm going to get, unless they pass on Marvin Harrison, which I don't think they will, but they could very much pass on Marvin Harrison. If they do, I'm going to grab him. If they don't, we'll take Fashanu and move him to right tackle, which he's probably going to be better than Joel anyway. I'm very happy about that. Let's start drafting and see what happens. So the New England Patriots are the first pick in the draft. They take Jared Verse out of Florida State. Washington, this is Marvin Harrison's spot. Does he go? He will. Marvin Harrison to Washington. And now we are up. We are going to take Olu Fashanu, and we are going to be happy with that. He's going to move to right tackle and be a stud. Absolutely. He might even be high enough overall to start right away. I don't know. 85 strength, 83 acceleration, 82 jumping. That's a huge pickup. And to be fair, really the only person that was going to factor in to next season anyway, because he's probably had the best chance of being the highest overall, besides like Marvin and stuff. So now we move to the 3rd round, and I saw that Josh Newton's still available, which I could like, but Josh Newton was round 1 to 2, and he's still here, so I'm a little bit scared about that. I didn't realize he was round 1 to 2. We could grab a Tommy Eichenberg or a Zach Zinter. I'm probably thinking either one of those guys. And it just so happens that they play for the Rivals. Or Steel Chambers. I've talked about how I like Steel Chambers, but I'm kind of curious about Josh Newton now. I mean, he's a round 1 to 2 talent. He can't be that good if he's still here. We're going to grab him. He's only normal development. He's probably a low overall. That's probably why he was still here. 88 speed, 90 acceleration, though, is not bad. I like that. I do like that. We have pick number 31 in the 4th round. We will see who is on the table. It is going to be Zinter and Steel Chambers. I think this is where we grab Zinter. And then with our 5th round pick, we'll grab somebody else. 87 strength. If he ends up being a higher overall than Elton Jenkins or what's his face, then we'll obviously start him, but I doubt that. I think he's going to be a slightly lower overall than those guys. Wyatt Teller, is that who we have? I don't remember who we have. Let's take a look at our boys. We only had 3 players. 70 overall for Fashanu, 69 for Newton, nice, and a 67 for Zinter. Best player in the class was Marvin Harrison Jr., 81. I kind of wanted him. Brock Bowers, Caleb Williams, Blake Corum, Raheem Sanders. It's the usual guys you would expect. We could have been in play for Marvin, and he would have been a factor. 81 overall would have been probably our 3rd highest receiver, or 4th highest receiver. All right, so we will go to the preseason of the final episode of the series, because we're not going to go into auto-generated draft classes, so we will just end it after this next episode. But unfortunately, this one didn't go the way we wanted it to. We didn't come away with the W. Kind of sucks. But Fashanu will be the backup to Justin Pugh. I thought he might be a higher overall. He's not. But this is the team. The team is very good. The team is very dominant. Nick Bolton's a superstar development now, which is awesome. Love to see it. And that, I think, is the only upgrade that I noticed. Yeah, because Tyreek and Cooper Kupp were always superstars. So, yeah. That's going to do it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Next episode will be the final one of this little series, and then we will find out what we're going to do after that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.